It's time once again for everyone to get aboard the TCP train. Welcome to our WWE Draft Recap of the 3 Count Podcast. I'm Dylan Chambers, flanked as always by my co-host Ben Hobden. Ben, welcome to the show.
Dylan, how are you, buddy? Good to see you, mate.
I'm going well. Are you pumped for? We're in Sydney and we've got Freedom Day coming up.
Mate, as you know, my real job, my other job, this is my real job, but my second job, I'm not looking forward to it too much, but we'll see how we go. It will be good to get to the barber though and get this done.
That is the first thing I'm going to do, I think, is go to the hairdresser.
If this went any longer, I was going to dye my hair blonde and cut in a mullet and just go full rugby league style player or something like that, just for a bit of fun. But
maybe you should just gone a bit of Hulk Hogan.
You reckon?
Throwing some dye in there.
Yeah, why not? Let's do it. No, let's not.
Now,
if we're in the studio together, mate, I'd do it. I'd let you do it.
Okay, well, we're not far away from that.
Fingers crossed, mate.
Pretty soon that's going to happen. Now, today we're going to take you through all the big moves that were made in the WWE draft. As always, we'll go through all the big news in the wrestling world, and we're going to do another 3-count draft. This time, Benny and I are going to build our own 10-person rosters as if we're starting our own promotion, and we'll each add a GM as well. So that'll be a bit of fun coming up later in the pod. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. And if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, hit that follow button. And please throw out any feedback. We love to hear it.
Everything. We love it. Especially when you're putting shit on Dylan. We love that even more.
Yeah. That's great. Now, I usually throw to you for the news, Benny, but I'm going to kick things off just with a little bit of news that I have. Now, I can't say too much. But I can say, Australian AEW fans, there might soon be a new home for AEW on TV in Australia.
Wow.
Now, as soon as there's an official confirmation, we'll let you know more on the socials. But there are talks. It is in the works. And keep your eyes peeled. Some big news coming there.
Looking forward to this, mate. I don't even know what this is, but the way you've teased it to me in a message and that, I'm getting excited.
You may no longer soon have to use the Fight TV app, but I will leave it at that. We'll have more news as it gets officially confirmed. But we'll start with AEW Dynamite Anniversary, Benny. What'd you think?
Yeah, mate, it was good. Obviously, you had the big match with all the super elite, as they like to be called, against the other four, the American Dragon, Cage, and the
Jurassic Express.
Jurassic Express, yeah, that was I thought it was a bit too much going on. To be fair,
it was a lot.
It was like, and they tried to get in a few. Like, obviously, there's some high flying guys in there. There's a lot to go on. There's a bit spot festy at times. It seemed a bit rushed. It seemed a bit, but it was still good. Obviously, you got to get everybody on the card, like just because it's the anniversary as well. So they wanted everybody there. So I mean, it was good.
They tried to pump a lot in that show. We didn't even get entrances for any of those guys.
Yeah. So that was good. And obviously then we had the ladder match at the end. So they were the two highlights for me, which we'll obviously talk about. But that was the two big things for me.
So yeah, news coming from that ladder match, Hangman Adam Page made his return as the Joker, and he won the casino ladder match by grabbing that giant poker chip hanging above the ring.
It took him forever to get it off as well. I was like, is something going to happen? Is this part of the spot? Like, I wasn't sure. So
it's an interesting look. But so Adam Page will get a shot at the AEW world title at some point, which is something a lot of people thought was going to happen, a little while ago.
Way back, yeah.
And then he just disappeared. So
was he injured, or was we just?
There's no news on what exactly was going on, but it just shows what a little break from TV can do. It wasn't even that long.
Yeah, Jericho used to be the best at that, though.
Yeah,
he just disappeaared for a while, and then come back with a new gimmick, and it was amazing. Not that Hangman's come back with a new gimmick, but I mean, you reinvent yourself or something, or if you're away, the crowd just pops every time.
Exactly. So, and there was plenty of other stuff. Bobby Fish made his AEW debut.
It's up against Sammy
Guevara for the TNT title, and got himself an AEW contract out of it.
Nice.
Yeah, I like how they said he's come through the forbidden door, but really he was just a free agent.
Yeah. There was talk because they weren't sure if he was going to hang around. So it was just going to be like a one-off possibly, or sort of go to New Japan and then come back
obviously
through the forbidden doorway. But I mean, if he's going to get an AEW contract, that's good.
Obviously proved himself. He's 44, did you know?
Yeah. Well, I guess when you think about it, Hogan and all that, when they were 40, we thought they were old, but these days everybody's
Yeah, everyone's in there. That's your prime.
Hey,
Prime
look at us. We're not far off, mate. So, I mean,
That's true. That's true. You got anything else for me, Benny?
well, obviously they announced the new TBS Championship, the second title for women as well on AEW. So that'll be interesting to see who's going to go for that and what's on the cards there. And then also AJ Lee at WOW Women of Wrestling. She's back essentially, but not wrestling. She's only going to be a producer and I think commentator.
Color commentary, yeah, I believe.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's interesting. Something.
Women of Wrestling, it's going to be interesting. It's owned by Jeannie Buss, who's owner of the Lakers. So
I didn't know that. Yeah, okay.
So that will be
there's a bit of money there.
There's a bit of money to throw behind it. So
yeah,
that'll be good.
What else? There's a couple other things. I did find something funny. I did see it online. Ben Simmons got a mention at the AEW tapings by the crowd. Did you see that?
Did he really?
I won't repeat what they were saying, but it was not very nice things the crowd were chanting for Ben Simmons. Let's just say that.
Okay, well, for those that know me, know that I'm definitely not a Ben Simmons fan. So
you would have been in the crowd cheering on with them, mate.
I would have been loving it.
And a couple other just little things. It's not really current wrestling, but Bret Hart got inducted into the Canada Walk of Fame this week. And The Rock, I'm waiting for it now, has said that today he's releasing a rap song.
A rap song from The Rock.
Yes, with a few other rap stars. I didn't know any of their names, so it should be interesting. So I'm waiting for it to drop. As soon as we do, we'll put it on the socials, guys, and see how they go. It
harkens back when he was hosting Saturday Night Live, and he did this sketch where he was a rapper in I think Keenan was the main rapper, and the whole joke was that they just kept bringing in MCs for each new verse, and there was too many people on the song.
Yeah, right.
It's very funny. Go and check it out. very funny.
Well, The Rock used to always do those sing-alongs. Remember, he was pretty good with those sing-alongs. So
sing along with The Rock.
Sings in his couple of his movies, but I don't know about rap. It's just, and instantly, as soon as I heard it, I just knew old WCW days with the old rap is crap gimmicks. Do you remember that? That was gold. So that's sort of all the little things from me. I'm sure you've got plenty of other stuff going on.
There's a few other things. It's looking more and more likely that Braun Strowman's going to end up at Impact. And has thrown out I think he did a Twitter Q&A or something like that, and basically just said he's asking Wyatt to join him.
Well, he gave big raps to Bray online as well this week because he said he's like a brother to him, and Bray's newest born child, Braun, is actually the godfather.
Oh, right.
For him, so they're pretty close. So I mean, anything could happen there.
Yeah, that would be impressive gets for Impact, that's for sure. We have. Could Johnny Gargano be leaving NXT? He did a cryptic post saying what's next, and a picture of all the NXT titles. So I mean, he's accomplished everything at NXT.
Yeah, without getting the call up. Well, we'll go into the draft soon, but he got looked over there essentially. So
yeah, definitely. Some funny news. So Big E did. He was doing a podcast, and he was talking about how he really wanted to clash with Goldberg. Because he loves big meaty men slapping meat. And people asked him if he asked WWE about using it as a bit of a gimmick, get some merch made up, and WWE Legal have apparently nixed it. So probably a fair call. I don't
understand why. It's not really family friendly, I guess.
I don't know if I'd rock a big meaty men slapping meat t-shirt.
Yeah, look, I don't know. It depends what the graphic is on it. Could be something interesting.
In other funny news, we got Kenny Dykstra, aka Kenny from the Spirit Squad. He's back in WWE as a coach at the Performance Center.
He was the biggest name of the Spirit Squad at the time, wasn't he?
He was. And funnily, Dolph was the only one.
Obviously, Dolph came out of it, but I mean,
but Kenny was he was super young, super talented, and
had some hops on him.
Yeah, and he's been working in the Indies ever since, so it's not like he kind of gave up. So good to see Kenny back.
It is.
Now we've also got the new NXT pay-per-view has been named, which is going to be a retro kind of Halloween Havoc.
Halloween Havoc, yeah, that looks good.
It was always one of my favorite WCW pay-per-views, Halloween Havoc.
Same.
And we've got Ciampa and Bron Breakker for the NXT title after Breakker accepted Ciampa's open challenge. So.
Is it too soon?
I think it's way too soon, but you never know with Vince.
Yeah.
Vince is running it now.
It depends what sort of, it depends what comes out of the match, I guess. Like what what sort of tangent they want to go down.
Yeah, could be interesting.
I think you've just put the title back on Ciampa though. You can't take it off him straight away. I think there's plenty more in the feud. So
and they're both kind of faces, so maybe this is an opportunity just to change one of them.
Yeah, possibly. I think him being fresh and green chasing the title though is better.
It is. It's more fun.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. And we've got the odds are out for the King of the Ring and the Queen's Crown.
Interesting.
So we've got Finn Balor at $4, Karrion Kross at $5, Happy Corbin at $7. Surprising they're going to give him the King gimmick again.
Already won it, so
I don't think so. Keith Lee at $8.50, Xavier Woods at $8.50.
Well, he's the one pushing for it. He's been pushing for it for quite a long time on socials. So
that's
he's
true.
Been walking around, posting everywhere on social, saying he's already the king. He's been living like the king for a while. So there could be a gimmick there.
And
obviously.
Then if you want to make some big money, Drake Maverick at $151.
I noticed in the draft he went from Raw to Raw. He hasn't been on Raw for ages.
No, he seems to be. He's kind of orchestrating these attempts to get the 24/7 title away from Reggie. And sorry, for the Queen's Crown, we've got Shayna Baszler, the favorite, at $3. Liv Morgan at $5, Naomi at $7.50, Doudrop and Tony Storm at $10, and then for your way outsiders, we've got Eva Marie at $51.
I'll pass on that. I'm sure your money will be on Liv, mate.
$5, that's not bad.
Going into the summer of Liv.
I do feel though it's going to be hard. Shayna Baszler, Queen of Spades.
Queen of Spades. She does the little
it just kind of
it fits.
It fits very well. So
just going off the men though, you'd have to think so. King Cross, King Karrion, that role.
I think Cross would probably be my pick. Balor doesn't need it.
King Bearcat. I don't know.
Yeah, he could destroy a few people on the way.
I don't know if they'll give it to Woods, but I'd love to see Woods get it just so he can get a push. You know what I mean?
That'd be good fun.
He's the only one from the New Day that hasn't had the push yet. So
exactly,
it'd be good to see.
Exactly. Well, that's all we got for the news. So let's jump right into it, Benny. We're going to go round by round for the WWE draft, and we'll kind of get your thoughts on each round. So night 1 on SmackDown, round 1, first pick, Roman Reigns stays on SmackDown.
Yeah, predictable number 1 pick.
Very, very predictable. He also just hit 400 days as Universal Champion. So that's still second behind Brock Lesnar at 500 and something. But
yeah, but I'm sure he didn't. I'm sure Roman's wrestling a lot more than Brock was at that stage.
Yeah, I think so. Second pick, we have Big E goes to Raw.
Makes sense being the champ.
Not surprising. Now, I did hear rumors during the week that apparently they were going to leave Big E undrafted on the first night and leave it as a cliffhanger for Raw. But obviously they thought that we'd all figure it out.
Well, essentially, which we'll get to, they've done that with the women. So
exactly. So we then have Charlotte Flair going to SmackDown and Bianca Belair going to Raw. So they're doing a bit of a swapsy, and Flair being the Raw champion.
Yeah. I guess you have to pick up. Or you pick her or you pick Becky, don't you? So Becky's already on there. They just swap them around.
Yeah.
Bellaire's interesting. Like I thought she would have stayed on SmackDown. She's been the woman on SmackDown for a while now. So
and now she can be the woman on Raw, because now that Charlotte's gone, there's not much else there happening. So we'll see what goes on in the rest of the draft. We had round 2, Drew McIntyre goes to SmackDown. RK Bro stays at Raw. New Day goes to SmackDown, and Edge goes to Raw. So a few swaps there.
Yeah, well, they've split up the New Day. We thought they were going to get back together with Big E. Now he's gone over. But as you said, I think it might have been personally when we were chatting, it does give weight to try and give Big E that like seriousness of the title and stuff like that. If he just is always with the New Day, it sort of takes away from the title a little bit with all the shenanigans that they carry on.
Let him run with it. Let him run with it just himself. Let him carry it. See how it goes. So Drew McIntyre definitely was due for a change. That's for sure.
You called that. We both called that a while back.
Round 3, we had Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss staying on SmackDown. Rhea Ripley and Nikki ASH staying on Raw. We had Hit Row. So that's
surprising.
Isaiah Swerve Scott, Top Dollar, Ashanti the Adonis, and B-Fab all getting the call up to SmackDown. And then Keith Bearcat Lee staying on Raw.
Very surprising call up, I thought.
I certainly wasn't expecting it.
And yeah, like I said, Yeah, I think they'll just. I don't know where they're going to do.
I mean, Swerve's still got the North American Championship, so you'd have to think he'll drop that before. So I should have mentioned at the start, all these will take effect from after Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
So still a few weeks.
Everybody's just on everybody's show until then.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, so I would assume Swerve will drop the title by then. Then we had round 4, which was the last round on SmackDown. We had Naomi staying on SmackDown, much to the chagrin of Sonya Deville. We had the Mysterios going to Raw, Jeff Hardy going to SmackDown, who he hinted at a bit of a gimmick change on Raw. We could see a different side of Jeff Hardy. And then speaking of Jeff Hardy, we saw Austin Theory called up to Raw.
Yeah. That's another interesting. I just don't know. There's some of the people they're calling up. It's weird for me.
Yeah,
and so much better. Like he's got potential, I guess, but he's only just come back to NXT, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
he was out for a while.
Guy, and they showcased him on the following episode on Raw, where he faked wanting to get a selfie with Jeff Hardy and then knocked him over and took a selfie while Hardy was knocked out. So obviously, very, very obviously a heel. Austin Theory's going with. We then had a few on Talking Smack. They announced a lot. So
the little supplemental picks.
All the supplemental picks. We'll get through them very quickly. Not too interesting. Akira Tozawa, Doudrop, Drake Maverick, John Morrison, Nia Jax, Reggie, R-Truth, and T-Bar all stay on Raw. Tony Storm stays on SmackDown. Now, the swaps, we had Alpha Academy, Apollo Crews and Commander Aziz, and Zelina Vega all going to Raw. We had Drew Gulak, Mace, Mansoor, and Mustafa Ali going to SmackDown. And then Aaliyah was called up to SmackDown.
So they've split up T-Bar and Mace, but then this could be for this other character, I guess, or is he going to stay the same?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, we'll get through a lot of it, but they have split up a few tag teams.
They have, yeah.
Through the draft, so it should be interesting. We then move on to Raw, night 2. We had round 1, Becky Lynch, unsurprisingly, goes to Raw. The Usos stay on SmackDown. Bobby Lashley stays on Raw. Sasha Banks stays on SmackDown, with rumors floating around that she's going to turn babyface.
She's going to be like the Big Show soon. The amount of turns she's going to do, she's going to be the female Big Show for babyface and heel turns.
Exactly. I think with Bianca gone, that was the whole reason that she was heel.
Yeah.
So I could see that happening. And Charlotte's, it would be near impossible to turn Charlotte face, I think.
She's just so good as a heel, though.
Yeah.
Like a different kind of heel to the whinging, like Bailey heel and stuff like that, and annoying heel. She's just dominant heel.
I know I'm good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The big jam.
Just with that on the women's swapping. So Becky Lynch and Charlotte, will they just swap titles, or will they just wear the titles on the
Becky said she wants to be Becky Two Belts again.
Yeah.
So we will see. I mean, it makes sense. I feel like I was expecting that they would do like a double championship match where the first fall gets one belt, and the second fall gets another, and just swap them. But we'll see what they do. It could be interesting.
Well, there was quite a bit going on Raw as well with all of the women. There was quite like all 4 big names are out there on Raw. So anything could happen. It depends who wins a Crown Jewel. So I mean, if Bellaire wins a Crown Jewel, then she'll be the Raw champ.
Yeah.
So it makes sense there as well.
Makes sense. So we'll see what happens there. We then went to round 2. Surprisingly, all the way to night 2, round 2, Seth Rollins goes to Raw. King Nakamura and Rick Boogs stay on SmackDown. Damian Priest stays on Raw, and Sheamus goes to SmackDown.
Finally, we don't have to look at Sheamus and Priest at each other anymore. Yes. I was surprised Seth dropped so low, but yeah, I guess they needed the bigger names for the Raw.
Yeah,
draft.
True. Especially seeing as he's going to Raw. And as we mentioned earlier, Edge will be on Raw as well, so they can just continue that feud as long as they want.
And now they'll get 4 segments to do it rather than 2.5.
Yeah, exactly.
Raw goes for 3 hours. So
exactly. Good point. We then had round 3. We had AJ Styles and Omos staying on Raw. Shayna Baszler making the move to SmackDown. Kevin Owens moving to Raw, and Xia Li called up to SmackDown.
Yeah, my biggest things out of that, hopefully Kevin Owens gets a bit of a fresh start over on Raw and
he was just not really doing much except, putting over Happy Corbin's gimmick, really.
Yeah, exactly.
After coming off a run for the Universal title,
That happens to him every time he has a run with the title. He just gets relegated back to the back and just gets nothing.
I really thought he was going to beat Roman in that run as well.
Yeah, so did I.
Shayna Baszler moving to SmackDown's a fun one. That'll really put a cat amongst the pigeons with all the good women wrestlers on SmackDown.
Yeah, true. Well, they're all over on Raw now, aren't
they?
Yeah. No, not all of them, but Charlotte and her will probably fight out for the title, I guess.
We then had round 4, Street Profits moving to Raw, Viking Raiders moving to SmackDown, Finn Balor going to Raw, who's reportedly set for a big push, apparently, and Ricochet goes to SmackDown.
Yeah, that's good for Ricochet.
Yeah, definitely good for Ricochet. Probably good for Balor too. He's on a show where he can get showcased a little bit more. And it's not just, Roman Reigns' show. Street Profits going to Raw is an interesting one. That'll be good. Mix it up a little bit because, it seemed like all the good tag teams were on SmackDown. And no offense to the Viking Raiders, but I think I'd rather take Street Profits over them if you give me the choice.
Well, I guess you got the Street Profits will go up against RK Bro. Probably they'll get a run there. Obviously, you still got AJ Styles and Almost. So
yeah, there's plenty.
Or whatever his name is.
Plenty to go on there. We then had round 5, Karrion Kross staying on Raw, Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza going to SmackDown, Alexa Bliss staying on Raw, and Cesaro staying on SmackDown. So not too much interesting going on in round 5.
No.
Interesting. This Corey Graves love show with Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza of just telling us how good looking they are.
Yeah,
I'll be glad to hear the end of that.
Has that become his biggest gimmick, Graves? He just talks about how hot everybody is.
Yeah.
Like he's just doing it for both sexes now. He doesn't care. He doesn't discriminate at all, which I love to see. I love it. So good on him. But...
Well, speaking of Corey Graves, this one he'll be a big fan of the first pick in round 6, Carmella going to Raw. We have Ridge Holland being called up to SmackDown. Gable Stevenson.
What is that pick?
Being picked by Raw, and Sami Zayn staying on SmackDown.
If they rush this Gable Stevenson stuff, it's just going to blow up in their face.
So I feel like, when Kurt started, he had a little bit of time under him training, right?
But Kurt had also done some TV stuff. Like he failed, but he was doing, didn't he do like the weather or something for some local channel because they were like just on the back of the 96 Olympics and stuff. So, but yeah, Gable Stevens, if they rush it, it could really bite him in the face. So blow up in their face. Just on Carmelo, what is that mask? As soon as I seen it, I instantly thought Shockmaster.
Well,
I'm just waiting for her to break through the wall and trip over, and then just put it back on.
They moved Sheamus over to SmackDown, so they need someone with a mask on Raw.
So that was the mask, back-to-back mask rounds. So
the mask gimmick, and then we had Raw Talk later in the night with a few of those supplemental picks, as you mentioned. We had Dana Brooke, Veer, Jackson Riker, Tamina, Shelton Benjamin, and Cedric Alexander, and The Miz all staying on Raw. We had Shotzi staying on Raw. Dolph Ziggler, Robert Roode, Liv Morgan, Tegan Nox going to Raw. Jinder Mahal and Shanky, Natalya going to SmackDown. And then Mia Yim called up to Raw. So they broke up quite a few tag teams in that supplemental Raw Talk.
Veer and Shanky, but why does Jinder get Shanky and then Veer's just by himself? I don't know what's going on there.
Maybe they're going to push Veer.
Oh, I don't know. And Natalya and Tamina.
Yeah, that's done. We've got Tegan Nox and Shotzi.
Yeah. And then Mia Yim getting the call up as well. So she's going to be on the same card or same show as her real life husband.
Yep.
With Keith Lee. So that's good that they didn't split them up, which, Vince loves to do with couples.
Yeah. Well, he's got Carmella going to Raw now. Naomi's now on SmackDown. Maybe he's changed his mind, Let's bring all and Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch are both on Raw. So
true.
Maybe they're just keeping all the couples together. There's quite a few couples, isn't there?
He's probably worried that they're all going to leave, so he's got to do something.
Yeah. Just notably as well, Brock Lesnar is a free agent, so can move between the two shows. Not that I assume we'll see Brock that much. No. And notably, there were a few undrafteds. So no Asuka, no Eva Marie, no Bailey, and after getting a few interesting, promos. Elias.
Yeah, they sort of were going to rebrand him there for a minute, weren't they? And then
you never saw him.
Yeah, just haven't seen anything.
Typically, they've done the Emelina with him.
I get the Bailey one because she's out with the ACL injury. So
yeah,
I mean, she's going to be a shock return.
She tweeted #free agent the other day. So
yeah, perfect. So she can be a shock return when she comes back from the ACL, and it'll be like, where's she going to turn up? You know what I mean?
And to be honest, they haven't really been doing much with Asuka anyway.
No.
Is this it for Eva Marie? Was she just there to put over Doudrop?
Doudrop, possibly.
So we saw the Doudrop and Charlotte Flair kind of, together. So that could make for some interesting matches.
Take her under a wing.
There you go. So that was it. That was it for the draft. I'm looking forward to a few, a little bit of a mix up.
It's a good shake up. I think
it was long due.
Yeah, we needed it. Definitely needed it.
Is there any particular people who've now switched shows that you're looking forward to seeing them go up against?
I wouldn't mind seeing another like a Seth versus Randy run somewhere in there. I think that.
Ooh.
I wouldn't mind watching those two go at it again I think that'd be a good little run on Raw.
Yeah, definitely.
Obviously the Mysterios getting out of SmackDown, they've come over. So I guess they're such baby faces. Like it's just until that turn comes. Dominic's come out and said he doesn't want to fight. Ray said he doesn't want to fight his son. So I don't know what's going to happen.
Well, it's going to be interesting. I mean, you would assume that Dominic's going to be a heel if they somehow, start fighting. But also there's this kind of a theory going that Rey Mysterio is being very like little league dad. Yeah, and, and just making his son look bad and feel bad. And
personally, the way I'd book it so that Dominic starts getting a bit of a run, gets some momentum, and they do the whole Ray gets jealous of Dominic, so he turns on his own son to try and stop him from getting that push to get to the championship or something.
Yeah, interesting.
That'd be something I'd go with, but what do I know? Probably more than half the writers, to be fair.
We're just humble Australian fans, and obviously we're going to see Drew and Roman. That's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, as well, I know we're not talking about Crown Jewel now, but Drew's going up against Big E at Crown Jewel. So obviously he can't win the title, can he? Because then he's going to be on the wrong show. So
who knows in this crazy, crazy world, but probably not.
Well, we were wrong about what were we NXT last week?
Yes, very, very true.
Oh no, it was AEW.
AEW, yeah. We thought no one's going to take that belt off Miro.
Miro can't lose. Sammy Guevara's got no chance. Oh, next thing you know, tune in, bang, all over. So,
speaking of that, just quickly, I didn't mention in the news. Lana, there's a rumor that she might be making her AEW debut soon. She posted a photo of her trying to steal the TNT title from Sammy Guevara. So,
yeah, right.
We'll see what goes on there. But in any case, that is the WWE draft. Now we're going to move on to our own fun draft, which should be interesting. So we thought we'd jump in the hot seats of starting a promotion. So we're going to take 10 people to start a promotion with. 5 men, 3 women, 3 tag teams. And we're going to get 1 GM each as well. Now, this has got to be as if we're starting it from today. So we can't say Bret Hart in his prime or anything like that.
If you took Bret, I'd take Sean. So I
mean, exactly. So we're gonna make our 10 picks. Benny, I believe you get to go first this time.
I think it's you, isn't it?
Is it? I'll take it.
I'm pretty sure it's you. Can I just throw in there? Can we do the GM first? Because they're the person who's going to be announcing who is the number 1 picks.
Okay, the GMs first. Do you have a name for your promotion?
No, I don't. I was tossing up quite a few, but if I get my GM, then it'll make a bit more sense.
I was going to do like DWL, but that's too much like heels. So, all right, GMs first. So are you going to let me pick my GM first?
You're up. You get the picks, mate. I'm going to let you go.
Well, this might take a current wrestler off the board, my GM pick. So my GM is going to be CM Punk.
Wow. So he can't wrestle in mine while he's GM in yours?
No.
Okay, that's all right. So we're going to announce my GM, and my GM is going to come out and say, we're right here in Sydney, Australia, it's Mick Foley is our GM.
Mick Foley. I like it. I forgot about Mick Foley. Damn.
Mick Foley, GM. Game
That's okay.
on.
I'm happy with CM Punk. Mick Foley. I like it. He'll be a good GM. Did you have anyone else? Any other possible GMs there?
Yeah,
that you were
look,
thinking?
I had HBK, I had Bret Hart, I had Triple H, I had Eric Bischoff.
Heyman.
I didn't think really much about Heyman. I just presumed whoever takes reigns will get Heyman.
Yeah.
Who else did I? Jonathan Coachman. I thought about Coach for a second, just
Coach.
to mix it up a little bit. But yeah,
I had all those, but I had Edge as well.
Edge, that would have put a cat amongst the pigeons.
Yeah, I thought that would be interesting. Okay. CM Punk's led organization against Mick Foley's led organization. So that leaves me with the first pick, which is a tough pick, to be honest.
It is. It's tough.
I feel like there's two clear number ones, but I'm going to go with the PWI top of the top 500.
You're such a mark.
I'm going with Kenny Omega as my number one pick.
That's good because he's too old and he's going to collapse soon, so it's fine. All right, well, I'm going to take the head of the table.
Fair pick.
And does he come with...
you can have Paul Heyman with him if you want.
Beautiful. Do I get the bloodline as well?
No.
Just automatically, come on.
Hey, Paul Heyman had to fight to get them on SmackDown the other day, so...
True.
All right. This is tough. I've got two more sitting at that second pick.
I've got pages and I don't know what to do here.
Benny's gone old school. I'm going to take Seth Rollins with my second pick.
Why would you do that? Why do you do that to me? That's really hurt. That's really hurt me. All right. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan. You mean Bryan Danielson?
Bryan Danielson.
Just
I'll call him whatever I'll call him whatever I want in my organization. Okay, whatever I want.
That is true. That is true. Okay, sweet. Well, my other second round pick is sitting there, waiting for me to take, and I'll be taking Adam Cole, baby.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this isn't going well for me because he was right next to Daniel Bryan on my list. So, all right, and you've taken Seth. You've taken everybody.
Taken three guys.
All right, I'm gonna take Big E.
Big E. All right. Well, that leaves my next pick available. I'm gonna go with the big name factor. I'm taking Brock Lesnar.
Ooh, wow. All right.
I might not get him for every show, but he's going to put butts in seats.
That's all right. I'm going to mix it up now. I'm going to take the Usos so I can just take the bloodline.
There you go. The Usos are gone. Oh, well, you're forcing me into this next pick now.
Yes.
So I'm going to have to keep the Super Elite together, aren't I?
Yeah, you have to.
So I'm taking the Young Bucks with my fifth pick.
Makes sense. All right, my next pick. I'm going to take. Oh, here we go. I'm gonna break up a relationship, and I'm going to take Becky Lynch.
Ooh, big time Bex. Becky Lynch. All right. So I've only got one male left. Oh, there's a lot of good picks there too. This is tough. Okay, I'm going to follow your lead, and I'm taking Charlotte Flair.
Okay. All right. So I've got two males left.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
I'm going to take the shirt I'm wearing, his old school shirt. I'm going to take Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt. He was on my list too. Charlotte. Okay. All right, where do I go from here? Do I finish off? Okay, I'm going to go with another tag team. I'm going to take the New Day.
All right. Well, following that up, I guess I'm going to finish off my my 5 males then. Oh, do I? I'm tossing up between like 15
I
of
feel like
them.
there's a lot left for the males, so I'm just kind of seeing what falls.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll take the. You're making it hard on me. I'm going to take Britt Baker, break up another relationship.
We're like the anti-Vince at the moment.
Yeah.
Britt Baker. Okay. All right. Who am I? So I've got, Young Bucks. Okay. Okay. This is going to be a sneaky pick now. I'm going to take RK Bro,
Oh, you.
which
I was
takes
going to take
Randy Orton
Randy.
off the table.
That's why I was leaving Randy, because I was going to toss up between. Oh, damn you. That hurts. He was literally going to be my last male pick. All right. This is getting tough now. I'm going to take. All right. Males don't matter anymore then. I'll keep it going, and I'll take Sasha as well then.
All right.
So I've got Becky, Sasha, and Britt Baker as my cornerstone of my female division.
I like it. I like it. And I have finished off my tag team. So I'm going to pick. So I've taken Charlotte Flair. My next female is going to be Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, look, I don't know if she's going to come back, mate. You're wasting.
She is for me. She is for this new.
You're wasting some big money there on Brock and Ronda. Like, I reckon I'll be able to get 7 more picks for the price that you're paying for those 2. So, the way I'm going to spend my money in the supplementals at a later stage, I would be well in front. You might have the big names, but we're just going to be a thing for the people. So to continue that on, I'm going to take as my last tag team. I tossed up a few here, but the Street Profits are going to take the role.
Is it your last tag team? I don't think it is. I think you got.
Oh, I've still got one more.
Still going. We got 11 picks.
Oh yeah, so I've got Usos and Street Profits. Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I've still got one more. Perfect.
All right. I got the Street Profits. So I've got Charlotte Flair, Ronda Rousey. All right. This last women's pick is a tough one.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here.
I'm gonna take Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, fair. So you've still got another woman, don't you?
No, I've got my last man.
Okay, so I'm gonna take Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens. Oh,
My,
that's a good
my
one.
stunt double, my lookalike. KO, reaching out.
All right, with my last pick, Mr. Irrelevant. What's going to move the needle?
Mr. Irrelevant?
What's going to move the needle here?
There's some big names.
I've got 4 here that I'm just sitting on. Do I go with youth, someone who's a bit younger, or do I go? Yeah, I'm going to go with someone a bit younger. I'm going to go Miro.
Yeah, he was what I was tossing up with. And the other one I was tossing up was AJ Styles as well. I thought you might have picked Orange Cassidy there for a second.
I thought about there's not enough picks there to take Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, very true. All right,
so what have you got left for your last pick?
Tag team.
Tag team
Back again.
This is tough picking from what's left. There's a lot of good tag teams there.
I'm going to go FTR.
FTR, I like it.
Yeah. I think, we've got we've got the Usos and the Profits, and then FTR will be that real old school tag team style wrestling to just counteract the high flying and stuff that the other two bring along.
I like it. All right. So we've got CM Punk's promotion with a men's division of Kenny Omega, Seth Rollins, Adam Cole, Brock Lesnar, and Miro. We've got the tag team division of the Young Bucks, New Day, and RK Bro. And in the females, we've got Charlotte Flair, Ronda Rousey, and Shayna Baszler. Then for Mick Foley's new promotion, we have Roman Reigns, Bryan Danielson, Big E, Bray Wyatt, and Kevin Owens. Tag teams, we've got the Usos, Street Profits, and FTR. And then for the women, we have Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, and Britt Baker.
I think the women's division will be main eventing over the rest of that. That's some solid.
It's a solid women's division. Who missed out for you? Who was close?
Yeah, as I said, AJ Styles, Finn Balor, Drew McIntyre, Moxley.
Yeah. I had Chris Jericho, Miz,
Jericho.
and MJF.
MJF, I didn't even think of it. Oh, Miz, yeah. Yeah, there's quite a few. And then, like, I was going to take the Lucha Bros, but I thought, nah, it's too much high flying and stuff like that.
Or even Jurassic Express got a bit of a snub from us.
Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley. Some big names there.
Bailey even.
Bailey, yeah. Sheamus.
I think we did pretty well.
Braun Strowman. Or Adam Shear, as his name is.
Yeah. I think we did well. I'd watch, I'd watch some shows from both of those promotions.
You're a bit of an AEW mark, I think, in your men's division there, mate. So.
Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar. Yeah, I guess the other three. AEW. But yeah, good draft. Good draft, Benny. That was fun. That was fun. Well,
let's go another 6 round stuff.
Let's go another. We could. We could
have gone all day, mate.
Rounds. We could. Well, that's the draft. We'll post it up on socials, and that's it for the show. So thanks for joining us again on the 3 Count Podcast. We'll post those drafts up to the socials soon. We're going to be back in 2 weeks to preview Crown Jewel and look at what's happening in the world of professional wrestling. Make sure you hit us up on the socials at 3 Count Pod on Twitter and Facebook, at 3 Count Podcast on Instagram, or email us at 3countpod@outlook.com. Benny, once again, thanks for your time.
Pleasure, Dill. Signing off from 3 Count Podcast.
And enjoy the week in wrestling.
Ciao.